Hey everybody, Dan Vega here. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about something that a lot of entrepreneurs and business leaders are struggling with. And that is how to build a great team, how to get a lot of high caliber people, very productive people involved with your company or your vision. We hear people all the time tell us, man, you have so many good people. How do you get these people? We can't hire anybody that's worth anything anymore. We can't hire somebody that has a good work ethic anymore. And that simply is not true, so don't be sold on that bill of goods. But we do have a simple thing that we do in order to give us more people that we can handle when it comes to finding quality people and people that are going to produce. And that is really thinking about what their passion is. So here's the tip. See, remember that whatever a person's passion is, right, whether that be in business or just in their personal life, whatever a person's passion is, that's always going to be in direct correlation with their physical level of energy and drive. Okay, so if I meet somebody and I say, hey man, what gets you out of bed in the morning? Or what's your passion? What are you passionate about? And they say, oh, photography. I love photography. We love to shoot animals or whatever that is. I'm going to gauge, based on what this person told me on a scale from 1 to 10, what's the passion level, right? So if it's a 10, right, they love photography, then generally their level of physical drive and energy is also going to be a 10. Okay? But if they say, yeah, I like photography, I'd say photography is pretty much my number one thing. And I gauge that in their passion levels of 2, well, guess what? In everything that they're doing, whether it be in their personal life or even working, they're going to have very low energy and a low drive. They're not going to be able to handle any problems. They're not going to be able to be stretched or endure anything that's difficult, right? So the number one thing that we do is it's looking for people with high passion. We don't care what the passion is, but we're looking for people with high passion. And this has enabled us to build huge teams of very productive people, okay? So in fact, I remember one time I was working with a very, very large company. This company does billions and millions of dollars a year. And they hired me to evaluate a lot of the corporate kind of executive level people, right? And so I think they thought that I was going to come in with very high-tech systems and, proprietary things that I'm going to uncover, all these things I've never heard of, right? These very smart intellectual ways. And I just basically sat down with everybody and I said, let me ask you a question, Bob. What do you really want? And I was ambiguous on purpose, but I didn't say, what do you want in your business or what do you want with this job? I just said, what do you want? And I let them answer, and they would say, well, the overwhelming answer was, what do I want? Really, I want to not be fired, right? Most people operate out of a scarcity mindset or a survive mindset, not a thrive mindset, right? So the overwhelming thing was, I want not to be fired. And I said, oh yeah, I'm not even here for that. But other than not being fired, what do you really want? What gets you out of bed in the morning? Well, just, being able to support my kids in the right way. No, that's for your kids. What do you want, Bob? Just to be a better husband and to be there for my wife. No, that's for your wife. What do you want? Well, again, just to be a better provider and have less stress for bills. I'm like, yeah, but those things are necessary. Bob, what do you want? What's your passion? And you know what most people tell you, most adults? I got to be honest with you, I haven't thought about that in years, right? And I get it, man. People get kids and mortgages and they feel like you got to do what you got to do, and they put themselves into these situations where in the meantime they lose their passion. They really kind of die, an aspect of them dies off, right? And once you lose your passion, then your physical energy is very low and your drive is very low, right? So I would just sit there and I would try to find a passion. I'd say, okay, what about photography? Do you like photography? Do you like animals? Do you like to travel? I would try to find something to hit on. And many times I would come across something. I'd say, what about this? I would just see light come back in their eyes. Oh, yeah, I love it. And then I knew, okay, I know the key to this person. I know how to motivate them. And I know that if I can kind of tie in their passion into my vision, I'm going to have a high productive person. But many times, no matter what I try, there's just no light on. They're barely over breathing, right? And then I would say, man, I don't like to get rid of people and jeopardize their family, but before I went to corporate and said, I recommend getting rid of this person, I would try to even find something. And as a last ditch effort, I would say, really, Bob, if I'm hearing you correctly, you've already achieved what you want to achieve, which is to not be fired, have a steady job, and this and this. Really, it's not even about aspiring to have anything new. It's just keeping what you have. Is that right? And they would actually say, exactly, yep. Well, if they've already reached their goal and they're not aspiring towards anything, they've lost their passion. Here's the problem. When you try to stretch that person in order to hit marks, right? Sometimes when you have to hit marks, you have to go through some pain and discomfort, right? You're going to take some nosebleeds. You're going to get nose, right? So you have to have endurance. When you stretch these people to hit marks, it's in their best interest. It's in the best interest of the company and them and their family. They can't endure the pain because they don't have passion and they have low energy and drive. How many people have you met that have such low physical energy? They're just like, hey, good morning, Bob. Good morning, Dan. How are you, man? They just have so low energy and no drive. They have no wherewithal, no endurance, right? It's because they've lost their passion. And sometimes it takes us to go back and remind them who they are or who they used to be, help them find a passion. Doesn't matter what it's in, but once they find that passion, now you can actually develop them. I've told people for years, you don't hire great people in your organization, you develop them. But some people, they're not even developable, right? So you have to have the right person that you can actually build that foundation with. And the key to that is finding a highly passionate person. They can now be a very highly productive person with high energy. And then these people also, they might have a passion, but now we have to figure out how that passion ties into what our vision is. See, the hope is they become very passionate about your vision, and look for those highly passionate people when you are hiring next time. The big thing is who's the most passionate. Rate that on a scale from 1 to 10. That's going to also be their level of physical energy, their drive, their endurance, and then teach them the rest. Have good structure in place to develop them, and in a very short period of time you can develop a huge organization, a thriving organization that'll make you in a lot better position to have a lot of success in your business and personal life. This is a key that everybody needs to know. So I hope that helps, and we'll talk again soon.